what's left of it. I don't have a clock on me because I'm in the other room. And by other room, I mean my husband's computer room. So, yeah, it's a live whip extra, not necessarily the actual episodes. I have like a boatload of episodes, but I have some in between where I try to test and play around to see what works, what does not work, and if I want to go back to the weekday schedule, but just keep it as like kind of a free for all random. Um, it's not that much different from the weekend schedule, actually. But this one will not be like an official, hey, this is my new thing. I'm going to have another day. This is kind of just if I feel like it. So an extra. That makes sense, right? Let's so how you been? This is Delion. Um as you can see here, I finally got around to working on the other side of this so I have a cute side, which it's still adorable, don't get me wrong, and I decided to give myself more extra work because that's what I do now. When yeah, I haven't really been doing as much art. I've been kind of tired and dealing with some things in terms of like finding paperwork, dealing with said paperwork and all that crap. Boring grown up stuff as per usual. So let's stop yapping. Let's get on Peyton. So one of the things I'm kind of not I haven't done this because I'm not sure what to color it as. Um, I am still kind of like, should I still have the pastel, but they're still creepy? But I do know that if you add like gray neutral tones to the bright, vibrant colors, it gives it more of a ew factor. Like they're rotting, they're rotting. They're not like all nice and cute and stuff. I want a whole 360 complete opposite of the cute classic little twin stars look because I'm nuts. Not real nuts, just whatever the hell this is. And so um yeah, I just wanted to do this. I think when I'm on live stream, I'm a little bit more pressured, not in a bad way, to make myself do more art stuff. Let me just show what I have right here. So this is little twin stars, and they are, I guess they're conjoined twins. And if you hear things, I think sometimes my stuff kind of falls on its own because it's Halloween and no, it's not. No, it's not. I'm just being stupid. But yeah, I know. This is not what the algorithm wants. They like to have simplified cutesy characters doing cutesy little character things, and I don't do that because everyone else is doing it. What can I contribute to doing what everyone else is doing? Nothing. That's the answer. Nothing. But it's fine. Okay, not really. Oh, well, I don't like too much popularity. I saw what happens when I did. Holy crap, man. I get really inappropriate questions sometimes, and I'm like, yeah. So I'm going to start the base with the, oh gosh, this moves when I paint. So let me adjust it a smidge and not, okay. I don't want you to get dizzy. So I need a base coat. So I got to start cute with cute colors and try to tone it down with some grays and browns and whatever the heck I can do. This will be a little interesting because I don't really see Sanrio drawn like this often. They are around and they exist, don't get me wrong. But they're not very common because a lot of people don't like, or the majority, the fans, don't like their characters, how to say, disfigured, deformed, and deformed in a bad way. They want it like super chibified, super cute, super cuddly. I don't. No, I do, but I don't know. I want to see some creepy stuff too. So let's just throw that in the bunch and see what happens. And I know there are people way better than me that can do that stuff. Don't get me wrong. I am aware of that, but well, let's just do it anyway. I know it's hard on hard sorry online to want to try different things, especially if you do research whether or not this idea has been done, and it has been time and time again as far back as 2015, 2009, and you're like, crap, my idea has been taken, and it hasn't. Everyone has similar ideas. That's basically it. And so for me, I'm like, yeah, let's just do it anyway. I try not to look too much, and I just do stuff for fun. That's basically it. I did have this little idea where their hair starts to merge. Instead of just being two separate pieces, they can merge into like a little gradient. And I thought that was kind of interesting. And I try to use up as much paint as I can. And plus, yeah, it's Halloween theme. It's around the corner. I am disappointed that I didn't do as much pumpkins as I wanted to. I've only done one for my son. It's a request pumpkin. He was very particular with what he wanted. It was just two triangle eyes and a big mouth with two teeth, and the pumpkin's blue. I go, okay. And that's what I did. So I don't really feel the need to show it. It's very basic. Um, I think I shown a small preview in my stories on Insta, and then that's about it. It's not anything like super elaborate like the stuff I usually make, but I do notice it's my detailed stuff is not very popular. I don't know. I don't know. Because I have to be a super prodigy, a prodigies for me to compete, and I'm just a mom, okay? That likes to do paintings when I can, if I even feel like it. Especially lately. Oh my god, I need to not look at the news too much. It's really hard not to, especially when some things are shut down and and things feel like it's going to hell in a hay basket overnight. It feels not even overnight. It's like, oh my god. I don't know. I try not to whine, not whine, but like air out certain issues about that. But I just feel really tired. That's all I feel now. More so tired than usual. And there's a lot of ranting going on, and I'm like, ugh. What can I say that hasn't been said? You know, a lot of the things have been said, and I'm really tired. That's all I can say. I just feel really tired. And then, well, aside from me trying to see if I can do a weekday time slot just for the sake of if I feel like it, and also I enjoy the quiet. Like, if you notice my live streams at night, my family is there by default because it's we live here, and so I try my best to uh, be accommodative, to compromise, and then I already warned them several times, don't do unnecessarily weird things that will probably embarrass me because it's live. I'm not doing a video. I can edit but set it to private, and all the stuff I have captured I have to set to private, and I don't know, it's just a big hassle. I can do videos, it's just I don't have the time to do editing. You're like wondering, why can't you just do it now? Because I hate video editing. Okay. I do look online every so often to see what everyone else is doing, and I do notice like I don't know if you guys have been around to be watching the Nostalgia Critic and Channel Awesome. I feel like they were one of the main blueprints of the layout, as well as Angry Video Game Nerd. Like those two were so dominating the whole, YouTuber content creator thing, and it's still ongoing. I notice a lot of people still adhere to that blueprint, um, of having to have like this persona to dress up to do this act and to be kind of surly and rah, 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 that attitude when you have a review for things and why this sucks and why I hate it. And I'm like, I mean, I hate things too. Don't get me wrong. I could totally go that route with my personality, but I don't know. I just don't feel like I have. I don't know. I just don't want to have a brain aneurysm later, or I just don't want to get really, really high blood pressure. I'm not at the age to be doing that stuff. But I understand how they can go to there. But some people, they adapt, they change their video editing, their video, presentation, and they can have their own personality, and that's totally fine. And that's great if anything. Oh, where's blue? Okay, sorry, I'm looking for my blue and I can't find. And then I don't know. Oh, this isn't open. I'm a dork. Where are you? Sorry. Okay, here we go. So I guess is like the live of me, like like real time painting, like what happens when I do all the painting, and so it's like this, but I actually talk in real time. I wouldn't be talking, and I have been suggested once or twice to just do paintings and shut up, and I can, and I have instances where I did try, but I just felt bad when there's people walking in and they're watching, and I feel like I'm not really engaging the audience when I just do that. Should I just shut up? But I just feel bad. I just feel bad when I just go quiet and then I, because I've seen live streams of people doing that where they're just doing their studies or doing their homework, not saying a friggin' word, and some people seem to like that. Um, I don't know. Like, I mean, maybe like 5, 10 minutes, okay, fine, but like 30 minutes, an hour, 3 hours, that seems a bit much to be quiet and there's people watching. So I kind of feel guilty, and I feel like not so much an act, but I feel like I should talk to you at some point. Um, I wouldn't want to like have people show up to where I live and then I just don't say anything to them for like 2 hours. That seems kind of rude. you know? But hey, if it works for other people, that's great. Y'all do that. But for me, I just feel a little guilty that I have people in here and I don't say anything. Not even a hi. Some people don't even say hi. Or maybe they just do this and then they just do whatever they're doing on live stream. Um, oh my god. I I was shopping recently and then I saw already the Christmas stuff. And it's funny because right before I saw that, and I already saw it prior to this as well, that there are videos of people saying why Halloween isn't the same anymore, why this and that isn't the same anymore, how come Halloween things are not scary. And I don't know why they keep saying that. At least where I live, it's still the same. Like people really not super go all out and like every house is a haunted house and it's but we do have a few houses like that. Like they'll let people in their house, make their house like a portion of their house or their garage or into like a makeshift mini haunted house, and that's really cool. It doesn't work for me because I have a slow reaction. It's not cool, it's not edgy. I just like, oh, good job, thank you. Things that scare me are random things that just bang in the on the window or some person's face and they go in front of me. Okay, those two. Yeah, I don't want to give you ammo to try that on me. Don't bother. I might get upset. But the thing is, yeah, if other relatives like my nieces nephews would go to a little haunted makeshift house, I wouldn't mind. That'd be all right. And then some places I've been to during trick-or-treating was like they have like popcorn, a regular size, full size rather, candy bars. There was a car that stopped over and they asked us the question and we're like, huh? And I was a little bit like, oh god, are they gonna throw eggs at us? And then they were asking, hey, do you want these bags of candy? We're just driving around and um no one wants to go to our house, so we figured we just drive around and give candy. And we're like, yeah, give me that, give me. And that rare moment, I regret not having big enough hands to get at least 3 handfuls of bags of candy, but it is what it is. And they drove away. That was it. Some houses offered like, I think last year someone offered Mexican hot chocolate and pastries. I was like, ooh, hey, whoa, nice. And even a few houses offer like hot coffee, and I didn't have tummy issues or gas issues. It was great. I was like, oh wow, like I don't have any problem with Halloween at all. I'm getting free stuff. Well, it does help. I was in costume as well, but yeah. So I think it depends on the area you live at and how they take Halloween. But if you get free stuff and you get candy and I'm fine with that. I don't shit. I don't really make such a big deal about. The only thing is the Halloween stuff and the seasonal holiday stuff. They do show up way earlier. Like I just mentioned earlier, there's already Christmas stuff full on out already. When I went shopping this morning, I was like, "Oh, geez, what the heck?" What- already? Oh, I guess. And then if you want to wait, like I want to buy these Halloween decorations at the appropriate month, like Halloween for October, Christmas in December, and you finally get there, all the good stuff's taken. You snooze, you lose, and and yeah, that's it. Another thing you can do is make your own decorations, but that's if you have time. Now, if you have work and you're like tired, don't want to do anything, I freaking get it. But if you can and you want to, that's also fine. But yeah, And then they also show how like Halloween stuff has like pinks and neons and bright frilly colors and disco balls and weird glitter everywhere where there's not supposed to be glitter. And I'm like, if that's the kind of Halloween that they want, that's fine too. If they want to still stick to the classics, hey, they're out there. You just gotta look for them or make your own. Make your own. And you don't have any excuse either. You can go online. There's a bunch online too. You can't say it's different. You got to make do with what you got in front of you. If anything, we have a whole bunch more Halloween stuff. And you can totally change it to however you want. If you want a cute Halloween, make it a cute Halloween. If you want messed up weird stuff like mine, by all means. To the closet people. Nah, well, they don't have to listen. That's fine too. Or they can just mute it. That's another thing. You just do the volume thing. I don't have to. I don't have to. So if you don't want to hear me talk, just lower your volume. Is that so hard? Because I'm going to talk because I feel like it. And if you don't like that, you're free to leave as well. So I try not to pressure people. You're here if you're here, you're not if you're not. And if you want to harass me, that's a you problem at that point. So there's my disclaimer. But I'm going to have to talk because I kind of feel like I want to. Because I want to. So anyway. Okay, so that is done. I got most of the colors here. I'm not going to do the line art still in black because I'm trying to not do that as much. I'm trying to think what else is here. Gray, okay. So I'm trying to, and yeah, and if I'm going to read some of your comments out loud. Just bear that in mind. If you don't want that, too bad. Not all of them, but just if there's any, because if I don't a lot and I see something, I will read it out loud. If you don't like that, there's your warning. I did my part. Oh, shoot. Okay, so there's that. Let's see here. All right. I have a base, but so now I will talk out of spite because now I have a purpose. That's funny. Okay, so anyway, background. What the hell's the other side background? So I don't have to do a whole 360. Oh, there's blue, but blue and brown. Well, let's see what happens. Also, if you're worried about contamination, it's my paint. I do what I want with it. And I have a whole bunch of spare paints, so don't worry about that. Oh, I think I need a bigger brush to make this faster. I don't know if this counts as speed painting, but I am usually pressed for time, so I try to rush things, and sometimes it works. I kind of like the rushed look sometimes, but sometimes when I need to be particular with the details, like the hair strands and whatever the hell's going on. Oh my god, I just did that. Yeah, okay. Then, oh well, I'll figure something out. How many are there? Okay. While it's not as much as the weekend scheduling, it's still more than my old standard of webcam and PC. Yeah, it was stupid. Like, it would just be 0, and then people just peek in and leave. It was really tiring, and it took me a long while to realize, oh, maybe my phone might have more traction, and it is, because this is right now on my phone. The good thing about the phone is I can go to other places, not just stay in one room, whereas and I don't have to have a PC on. I was actually thinking about going outside to do my live stream, but then I was like, nah, I don't like you that much. Let's just start small, and then if I feel a little adventurous, maybe I'll go somewhere outside. But I did an outside live stream, but on Instagram last year. I think, yeah, last year. That one was pretty well, but it was family oriented, so I set it to private. Yeah, noise, just to be irritating. Okay. I also need to remember to clean up after I'm done because this is not my room. Acrylic paint's fine though; it comes off. Now, if I had permanent marker, that'd be my fault. Okay, Halloween stuff. I was thinking about doing more pumpkins, but yeah, I was sick for half a month, and then the other half I'm like tired and taking care of some things, and then I have to do boring grown-up stuff and all that crap, and being put on hold on over customer service for like 3 days. Not literally 3 days, but each time I tried per day, I was not getting. They said their inbox is full, or after like a long queue, they'll send me to voicemail by default, and I had to do that like in a span of 3 days. Yeah, fun times. I lie. So, yeah, that one's solved, thankfully. But my God, it's a pain in the ass to deal with. And then I didn't feel like doing art afterwards. Like, screw that. I'm tired. Yeah, I don't like going on long durations of not doing art stuff because I can totally not do art. I can totally just say, screw it. I don't feel like it. If you want some art, do it yourself. I can have that mentality. I can totally do that. But it's the only thing I'm good at. So I try to make myself keep doing it. Plus, I like it. I think if I hated it, I would be more inclined to not want to do art. And I had a few instances of not wanting to do art. But it's not enough for me to quit. Like maybe a few years, maybe like a handful of years, I was like, I don't want to do it. But I would replace it with other things like arts and crafts, needle felting, painting on glass, painting on wood things. And then eventually came back to drawing, and this is the outcome. One of them, anyway. Oh my God, this is annoying. Okay. How many? Oh, 3. I guess they didn't want me to talk. That's fine. When they say certain unnecessary things, then I do things out of spite. Or a joke, either. I don't know. Some people can't tell. Like sometimes people can't tell if I'm serious or not. I can say things with a straight face, and they like, oh wow, you really mean that? No, like that's, and I think that upsets some people. It's like, what? I thought you were blah. Like, no. And there was a Halloween party last weekend with my family, but I think at the time I think I ate too much. I didn't feel like getting ready to dress up, and I think, but and the rest of my family, I don't know why they just didn't feel like it. I think because not all of us were there, and one of us forgot their costume, and they're usually like really big on costumes. So I was like, oh. But I think for me, I was just really full. I ate too much. There was a lot of good food that day, and I was like, oh, I need to lie down somewhere. Oh, I felt bad, but it was pretty good. The decorations were really nice. I was like, oh wow, that's really something. Because one of my nephews really likes Halloween, and I was like, oh, I love Halloween too. And they're into scary stuff, not whatever the heck YouTube's complaining about. So scary stuff's around. Just look for it or make your own. Either or is fine. We have no excuse to complain. I swear we don't, because they're around. You just gotta look harder. If you can't, then that's on. You can quit. That's fine too. I don't know why it feels like they think we have no choice, and we do have a choice. But I think the algorithm makes it feel like, or people make it feel like you don't have choices. Okay, so oh, okay, I like this. Okay, this is a very big contrast. Yeah, I have to go make sure it sort of makes sense, and then I can make this kind of dingy. How much time? 20. Okay, that's not too bad. Yeah, thanks for sticking around. If you are, you don't have to say anything. That's totally fine. I don't know what that Yahoo was going on about. I mean that with love, and thank you for even leaving comments. I'm kidding, okay? Even if you make some comments I don't agree with, I get what you mean. But, um, yeah, I will not. I'll take your opinion to consideration and then choose whether or not I want to do it or not. So, welcome to life. I know there's this thing where if you have like these echo chambers of people that agree with all what you say, and then that's sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not. Especially if they don't help you improve with your channel and stuff, especially if you're trying to make more money. But me, this is just a hobby, so I'm like, I'm not super. Um, this is it. What I got. Um, I just do this for fun, and I think that really helps me want to keep doing this more. I think if I was not having fun, I would totally stop doing this. Like, I really don't have to be here. But if I have fun and it helps me do art more, I'll keep at it. But give me a reason to not be here. Hey, man. Oh my gosh. Until then, I'm here to stay. I have no idea what to put in the background. I'm not good with backgrounds. So I'll just put like random, I guess, well, maybe cobwebs. That would be okay. Yeah, thank you for dropping by, though. You don't have to say anything. I always appreciate it. I usually don't say anything either. Only like the rare instances I went on a live stream and I would say like, "Hey," or I make a comment about what they posted, and someone on their live stream saw one of my comments and spent like an additional five to almost 10 minutes talking about what I mentioned. I was like, "Oh my god!" I think it was about TikTok and that I don't spend there. I don't have it. I don't have TikTok. I have few instances where I was tempted to join TikTok, but when I first saw it and I saw how the layout, the formatting is, I don't like it. It's very not some well, it's a kind of invasive, but it's just like the equivalent of like a big ball of keys jangling in your face, and there's several videos of that at the same time. I don't like that, and I didn't even last a week on TikTok. I uninstalled it. I probably have an account. I just never used it. I just looked at it and then I don't want, and then logged out and uninstalled. So there is that. I think I was looking on how to make videos there at the time. This was before I did shorts and even reels, I think. But at the time, I was like, oh, this is complicated. I just got the hell out. Okay. A little more than that. Then I'll have to start adding some shading. I'll put some dinginess on here. So give them some. You're dirty. You're all dirty. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just trying to add extra things to make it more dingy looking. Because, yeah. Expect messes before everything's cleaned up. But if I don't have another, I'm trying to think. Actually, all the stuff I'm saying, it's all in my head in real time, and I don't say it out loud. Now that I can do this, I can say it out loud now. Plus, I don't want to be where I'm quiet and then they're like, "What's happening? What's going on?" Well, you know, I know people who are like that. Irks the hell out of me. So I'd rather just say it out. But if I have to repeat myself, I don't mind. But then if you're saying things like 5, 6, 7, 8 times, I'm like, okay, stop it. Okay, white. Okay, this one. Ugh. Yeah, most of the stuff, art supplies I get, just get on Amazon. Amazon and Target. That's what I've been doing. Um, I know there's higher quality materials and all that cute stuff, but I just do them for it's a hobby. I think if it was like I had this as a professional career, I'd probably have to buy higher quality stuff, but it depends. I guess if I were to have a commission, but I don't get that, so it's okay. I just do this. And you'd be surprised how far you can get with just cheap supplies or affordable supplies. I don't really have to worry too much about getting highest of high quality supplies. Like a lot of the stuff is like, even a few instances, I can go to the dollar store and get a few things, but not paint so far. At least the stuff where I'm at. Also, Daiso has some watercolor paints and some art supplies. I haven't tried those. I might have to do a challenge on that later. I rarely do challenges because I don't want to make art and then the supplies I use it makes it worse, and I don't like to waste money and time that way. So I've kind of just put them on the back burner, or I can just choose to do it without having to record. That's also an option, so I don't have to waste people's time. Unless it's like maybe a decent art supply and turns out it's crap, then I guess there's that exception. Okay, this is not too bad. Still kind of clean though. I kind of want to make it dirty, dirty dolls. That sounds inappropriate somehow. I think the harder part is the face. I'm going to have an interesting time working on the face. This one will have an eye sticking out. Yeah, I think a while ago I was doing some research on like lost, neglected, broken toys. There's a lot of references for that, and it's pretty creepy. Like abandoned houses, and they have like broken, lost toys. If you're kind of curious on how all that works, like you want references, just look that up on Pinterest, Google Images, or Flickr, whatever you have. It's kind of creepy, but also kind of cool to look at to see how crazy the details are. Like it's you can do the whole clean, precise brand new toy feel, or the challenging one which is dirt and grime and stuff eaten by moths and rats and cockroaches. Hey, you could try that. No one wants to do that. Very few people do that, or some, but they're not the majority, I guarantee that. People like clean things, not dirty old things, but I think it's a challenge. Do you want to try that at all? And I guess I'm in that group, whatever that is. Oh, have any of you done any October Inktober? Oh my god, I haven't done a damn thing this year. I was just I didn't feel like it. I think I tried last year and then I gave up after like 5 pages when I realized the theme was hiking, like you're like outdoorsy hiking stuff, and I'm like, ugh. Though I had a good idea, and then I didn't do it because I got tired or distracted. And by the time I wanted to continue, Inktober was already done. I might do that later, but it's already this year, Inktober, and it's almost wrapping up. I don't have the time to do that anymore. Or like I can pick a few and then that's it. Okay, one person. Who's moving? Sorry. All right. So we have thing here. Gosh, I'm gonna have a hell of a time doing the details. I might just color it and then put line art on top. That's the only thing I can think of. 'Cause I don't want to deal with it. But I can't have it too thick, or I can't see what I did. I'm gonna forget. Okay. Oh, before I continue, I also have another set of flat wooden pumpkins to paint on, but I don't think I have enough time, or I can do a rush job. Yeah, this freaking, and if you hear a sound, that's the refrigerator. Yeah, there's a mini fridge here. So yeah, it came in a pack of two. It's $5. Yeah, I think it's $5, and they're not as big as the ones I've been working on, but uh, I've worked on small surface areas, so it's totally fine. Back to this. I don't know if I can do any of those Filipino monsters before Halloween ends. I also have to do a bunch of stuff I've been kind of putting off. Gosh. There's a bunch of people saying, don't grow up too fast. Don't grow up too fast. Once you grow up, you're going to wish you were a kid again. That is so true. But at the same time, I remembered being a kid. There are some things I don't miss. Like, I think it depends and it varies from family to family, how you were raised. And if you were like from like a not so good childhood, I understand wanting to grow up fast so you can get out of that situation. So I can't say I totally understand that, but at the same time, it makes sense. But then for mine was pretty good, I think. Just there were age gaps in my family, so it was kind of hard to relate to other people. I was more able to relate to the slightly younger people in my family, but I'm the youngest, so the two older ones before me, I was able to get along with them a lot better. Yeah, the rest it was kind of a given because they all wanted to do their own thing, so I was with my brothers most of the time. Now, even now, I still get along with my brothers. Although we tend to get along by cracking jokes at each other and saying stupid stuff, and that's how we I don't want to say coexist, but that's how we get along. Really, we just throw jokes at each other. So that's probably why I sound a little bit weird. Because I was around my brothers and my dad a lot more than I thought. There are women in my family, but they were much older and they had their own thing. And we all have similar humors, but I was with my brothers a lot more. So this is why I sound the way I sound. It's freaking weird. Um, but then I think nowadays people misconstrue that as like being a pick me girl or being a tomboy. But the thing is, my brothers are well, no, my second older brother's into sports. I didn't get into sports. Like I can admire those who can get into it. That stuff's rough. And if you do it wrong, or you hurt your ankle, or you get your head hit too many times, mm-mm-mm. That's a risk you take when you get into certain sports. So I can appreciate those who get into it, like enter at your own risks. But at the same time, though, I was just okay. I was not real. I was more like geeky stuff. I got along with my brothers, like video games and anime and doing art stuff. I don't know if art stuff counts, but I was really into art because my oldest brother was into art. He would draw a whole bunch of like fantasy characters or his own Marvel characters for fun. And I was like, oh, that's really cool. I wish I could do. So I would copy him. But it was a lot of fun, so I kept doing it. I'm not sure if he draws anymore. Maybe not. He's too busy or tired, so I'm like, oh. But yeah, um, it's very nostalgic when I do draw. It reminds me of all those times when he would draw and I would watch him draw, and I was like, oh, can you draw me that? I would be that person who would bother my siblings to draw me things when I was little. And then eventually they're so busy, I was like, okay, fine, I'll draw myself then. I'll draw it by myself. And so I ended up doing that. And I was like, oh, this isn't so bad. So that's how that happened. Um, yeah, I used to bother my siblings to draw me things like from Gumby or Disney characters, I think, or I think Elf Quest, which was what my brother was into. So I was like, can you draw me that? I want to be an elf. Because they also had like this Dungeons and Dragons variation of Elf Quest where you can make your own elves and you have dice and stuff. And I was like, oh, okay. But it was too confusing for me. So I didn't really get into the whole, you know, D&D-esque sort of drawing. But I like the part where you come up with your characters, but I think you can't just make your own character out of the top of your head. You have to throw dice to get what kind of stats and your physical attributes. And I was like, oh, okay. And I think the one I had I didn't like, but he was the one drawing it, so it looked a lot better than what I thought it'd be. So I was like, oh, I don't know what happened to it. I liked it. And then I tried to draw my own elves. Oh my god, that was a travesty in itself. Yeah, that was interesting. But I'm not that into ElfQuest as much as I used to be. Um, I tried drawing a character, and then I was like, I lost interest. Like, what the heck? And then you know how people like the millennial age that get back into like Ninja Turtles, Batman the animated series, Popple's Gem, She-Ra. I never watched She-Ra, funny enough. Um, I did not really care for Western cartoons growing up. I mean, when I was a kid, I was fine with it, but when I grew up and tried to rewatch it, I got really bored. I was like, oh, okay, it's a thing. I did try watching Gem and the Holograms the other day. Their songs are pretty catchy. And then that's it. I didn't pursue it any further. That's how bored I get with Western cartoons. I don't know why. I think it's because it's different when you watch it as an adult versus when you're a kid. But however, anime that I grew up with, I can still watch it. Not like a, like a religiously sort of thing, but I definitely will pick it up and rewatch it again. Just like, oh man, this is so cool, even for its time. Like they put so much effort and hard work into it. And I was like, oh man, what? I mean, they still do, but it was just very nostalgic that they worked with what they got. And I can always appreciate that. Because a lot of the new animes now, some of my friends try to get me into new animes, but they just seem so weird and perverted. It's like, what are y'all looking at? But sometimes that's what they have, and I'm like, it's not for me. If you want to watch, go ahead. It's like I couldn't even finish My Hero Academia, and I tried to watch One Punch Man, and I got bored, or I got distracted. It's usually the case. I get distracted with life, and then when I come back to it, it's like, oh, I'm like, I don't feel like it. I've only finished Demon Slayer because I finished the manga, really. I'm not really big into watching the whole movies. Maybe if I can get it easily accessible somehow later down the line, maybe. But for now, I'm not super, like, rushing to the movie theaters to watch it. Because I don't like dealing with people. That's the other thing about being an adult, dealing with people. When you're a kid, you don't have to deal with it so much. Your parents would just tell, just smile and nod and don't cause trouble and, just go eat in the corner over there if you don't want to say anything. I'm like, okay, that's easy. You can't do that when you're an adult. I mean, you can, but then people look at you weird. Or they're like, well, you're just here for the food. I'm like, yeah, what's the problem? You can't really be like that too much. I mean, you can, and then just wait, let's just see what happens, how people look at you weird. And so, a lot of things you can get away with as a kid, you can't do as an adult. Also, I don't like bills or unnecessary crap that, like, I don't need this, but you have to, or they give you a hard time later. Trick or treat. I think as an adult, I think it's still fun as an adult. You can still wear costumes, but some people who grew up without a Halloween because we're not the center of the universe. Sorry, America. We want to sound like it, but life goes on outside this country, whether we like it or not. Um, like other countries that don't celebrate Halloween, like my husband, he never celebrated Halloween. So when he came here, I mean, he just put on a mask at most, or you know, um, maybe one costume as a clown, and then that's it. He was just, nah, I don't feel like it. I think if he was grown up around that environment, he would be more inclined to want to participate, but he wasn't. I was like, you get candy, sheesh. But yeah, I try. I don't really force him into it. I offer, hey, do you want to wear this costume? He's like, nah. I was like, what about this? Nah. It's like, okay, fine. Also, I think all three of us in my family are very different in personality somehow. Like some days my son will be like me. My husband is like my son can be like my husband sometimes. And then my kid has his own little personality, kind of stumps me and my husband. So I was like, oh, it would be nice if we could do like a matching sort of themed costume, like Lilo and Stitch and stuff, or um, not Star Wars, Terminator. I would think my family would like to do Terminator, but that would be hella complicated. But yeah, my kid likes his own things. I like my own things, and my husband likes, well, he likes Terminator. So the other thing is to consider is like how to dress up at night because it gets cold here at night. You can't just wear your skimpy outfit here. I mean, go ahead and try. Unless you have an indoor house party where there's heating, I wouldn't recommend being out here at night because it's freaking cold and it ain't cute. Um, but yeah, it's. I liked Halloween a lot more as a kid. As an adult, I'm it's okay now. I'm not super hell bent on we have to have Halloween everything. No, I'm too tired. So I think I kind of calmed down afterwards as I got older. I just like doing Halloween paintings and drawings and stuff at most. I don't like doing the like decorating because I get tired and I don't like using step ladders. There's my reasoning. Okay, I need to clean this up. How much? Okay, I'm gonna wrap things up in a bit because I just wanted to see how far I can go with this, and I got pretty far. Not too bad. I think the worst case scenario is I got stuck in one area and nothing got done. But I'm glad that I got this far. So I'm gonna clean this up off camera. Obviously, I don't think I'll do a reel for this. I'll just make a post. I'm not as motivated to do posts these days because like my account doesn't really reach people, and even if it reaches people, I don't really get much out of it. I'm pretty sure people who have a lot more traction, they have to pay more. Like they have a professional account or they actually buy subscribers, subscribers, followers, buy likes, because you do have that option now. Like at least some people try to um, advertise that to me in DMs. Like, ugh, I just find that so weird. Like I don't like people enough to do that. That's okay. I don't need. So I try to do it within my own efforts, more or less, and then hope for the best. If people don't like it, that's up to you. Shit, go ahead. I don't force people to come here. They just show up. If they want to show up, that's fine too. If not, that's fine. I am trying to be as lax as I can. But if you're gonna go in here and cause a ruckus and be unnecessary, I mean that's a given. And when you're online, people don't want to do that, deal with that. I don't either. But um, it comes with a territory, especially online, which is kind of annoying. And that's one of the reasons why I avoided going online because I didn't want to deal with that shit. But ultimately, I was like, okay, whatever. And then, or I might kind of sound snarky and then just carry on. That's all I can really do. I think if they were directly being really, really mean or kind of causing trouble, I have to do something. But for the most part, it's not too bad. It's only a few hiccups in there. So if you're introverted and you want to dabble in trying to do live stream, yeah, that's totally fine. Just start small. I think start baby steps, and then as you progress and you learn from what you're doing, like what to do, what definitely not to do, and if you're still comfortable in like what you were doing, then by all means go ahead. Because that's what I did. I didn't really start on YouTube. Well, no, I did, and I hated it. Then I went to Instagram, liked it. Then they started taking away privileges because I'm not as popular. Then I ran back here because the algorithm's a lot better than here. But there's a lot of rules. There's a lot of rules. Um, You just have to keep trying and hope that you still like the outcome and the process and what you're doing. Because I think if you're doing this and you hate it, then just don't bother. Don't force yourself. Just do it in a way that's comfortable for you and you're not harming others and yourself. But I know this is not for everybody, and people can totally just, I don't feel like I don't want to do this, and I have those days too. But at least try it out a little bit if you feel like, oh, maybe I can do something. Which is funny because, like I mentioned, I hate video editing. I don't give a shit. But the lives is okay because it's on the spot, and it kind of wrecks some people. Um, it makes them more anxious, like, oh, I gotta do something. Oh, yeah, I have that too. I have that, but I kind of trained myself enough, conditioned myself enough, like, okay, well, let's just, well, there's a fuck up, gotta deal with it. And so, but you do have the option to edit it after the live stream, but then you don't get the original. Um, I think it's, I don't know, they save it. It's kind of weird, but I don't get the same thing. I have to set it to private or something. It was kind of complicated. But the ones that I messed up in or something stupid annoying happened, I have to edit it for sure. Also, sorry if I sometimes sort of sound mean. I I think that's just how my voice is. I will try to be better, but I don't like sounding too nice either, because then people walk all over you if you're not careful. But I also just do what I can. Does that even make sense? I don't even know. Who is calling? Stop it. I don't know you. Can I do this? I don't know if that makes sense. Probably not. Okay, what did I do? I need to wrap it up. So I wanted to test if I can do live whips extras on the weekday because I like the schedule more since there's less. I'm not saying less people. There's less people in my background here doing unnecessary things like the weekends, and I like that it's quiet. Um, so I might bring this back, but that's not an official sort of thing. That's if I feel like it. So I will not have announcements for it. This is just, oh, okay, I'm on live, okay, whatever. That sort of thing. So there's totally no script, no like, oh, I have some bullet points to talk about and I don't have shit. This is all at the top of my head. And then I was talking a little bit about Halloween and how growing up, like, it sucks, but not all the things as a kid were as good as we wanted to be. Like, there are some annoying ass things. Plus, time was a lot slower back then because you had no idea that there was a whole bunch of things you had to do as an adult. Versus as you're a kid, you don't have to worry about bills and taxes and mortgages and having to drive around and deal with shit, and you don't have to notice that's like, why do I have so much time? And then when you're an adult, I don't have enough time. Where's the time? It just went away. It's already almost November this weekend. See it shifts. And then then some other crap like talking about paintings and stuff, wanting to um some other crap I kind of forgot, but debating whether or not I talk in my not stories, in my live streams where I've had some requests not to be talking. Then someone just earlier was saying, just be quiet, stop talking for the closet people. And then I decided to talk more out of spite. Joking spite, not real spite. So that gave me more motivation. So this is a good thing to keep talking more. But I also give the option, like, if you don't like it, you're free to leave. That's totally fine. If you want to, the other option is you still want to watch, but you don't want to hear me yapping about, you can lower the volume. I do that too. So I wouldn't recommend things that I wouldn't do. And then that's totally fine. So even if you have some criticisms, you can take offense or use it to your advantage as a learning tool. So it's okay to be a little snarky as long as you learn from it, I guess. Well, this is ugly. I will try to fix this later. So this is my outcome right now. Ew. Thank you for that one person that kept watching. Yeah, they're gonna be conjoined because I haven't seen them like that yet, but I wouldn't be surprised if they did have a variation of little twin stars as conjoined twins. So that'll be it for now. I'm gonna wrap things up. I will probably rest or clean up or do boring paperwork I'm supposed to be doing. All right, sorry I sound a little bit winded. I was kind of rushing this morning. I was running a little late. And have a great. Whoa, what happened? Whoa, why are there 12? I thought I said 2. Oh, I guess I'll hang around a little bit. I was about to say goodbye, and then I saw more people, so I guess I'll add a little bit more. All right. What else can I talk about before I wrap things up? What time is it? Oh shoot, I forgot. I don't have a clock on here. Wait, let me see if I can see on my phone. 11:53. Okay. Pacific Standard Time. Okay. Oh my gosh. Sometimes if I paint too hard, this freaking stand likes to jiggle. So I guess I can show this part. Then the one on the other side is this. So it's a complete opposite of what is going on here. This looks a little smaller. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, I guess I can make it a little dingy now. Yeah, I'm going to uglify it. Sorry, guys. If you're into cute stuff. Oops. Whoopsie doodle. I was trying to make it a little bit more dingy, like they've been sitting on a shelf for like a solid 70 years. I think Little Twin Stars was made around 1978 or 1979. So they've been on there for a while. I have to know some level of Sanrio lore to make some sense. Sorry, I thought I heard something. Something fell. Oh, and I was talking about how Halloween is still around. You know, there's a lot of videos talking about how Halloween is not the way it used to be, but it's around. You just got to either make it your own or you look online and there's still scary stuff. I don't know what the hell they're talking about. I think just because they show up so early to sell the product, like Halloween in August and September, then they kind of have a hissy fit about that. I'm like, okay, yeah. But then you wait till October, all the good stuff's gone. So you kind of feel forced, like, I guess I gotta buy it now. Because I think I went to Target the other time and all of the skeletons are gone. And all the costumes are gone. Only like this one ugly pumpkin costume was there. And I was like, ugh, what the hell is that? And then I think a $60 Wicked costume. I think of the good witch, whatever she is. Um, that one was still there. $60. Whew, what the hell? And then even if the prices are increasing, they'll still get it. I was like, man. I only got a few skeletons and skulls, and then that. No, I got a few skulls and two little skeleton thingies. So I didn't get too much, thankfully, because I already have some from previous years, so not too bad. It's gonna look kind of ugly, so bear that in mind. So I will wrap it up a bit. He will not have that, but I think I'll have to make his hair kind of like scraggly and messy, like it's unkempt. Oh gosh, I have a message from the husband. It's gonna look a little dingy, but that's what I'm going for. I also have to mix paint later because having the streaks don't look as good as I thought. But I think I can get away with it since it's a messy painting and they're gonna be like disheveled, so I can hide my mistakes with the mess. Yay! With the idea of their living space being super unkempt and messy and neglected or abandoned rather. Okay, and then blue. I just need some little ideas how to make it messy, and then I'll continue off camera. A little long, but not too long. Kind of reminds me of this anime I used to watch a little bit called Shiki. Ugh, it was such a weird anime. I like the intro song, it was really catchy, but afterwards it didn't make sense. Plus the people were kind of slow on the uptake on this family that turned a whole town into vampires. And then the one doctor that was trying to solve everything, I think he also became a monster. I don't know. So it's like we all took forever to find out the new people that showed up were freaking vampires. What took you so long? But I kind of forgot how once I might have to watch it again. But I was like, ugh, I didn't really have a good experience watching that. But the intro song's really catchy. And then that's it. That's all I really had. And then I think another one I watched was Death Parade. That was one of the recent ones I tried to take a stab at. And I think when people die, they don't realize that they're dead, and they wake up somewhere at this bar, and then they have like this little competition or like bar games to I think if they win, they go to heaven, or they're reincarnated, and if they lose, they go to hell. Something like that. And it was such a weird concept. But it was kind of interesting to see one kind of idea of that. And then as they go through the competition, they realize they're dead and why they're dead. And I was like, oh, okay, that's something. And then Hell Girl. I saw someone do a video about Hell Girl. I haven't heard about that in a hot minute. I was kind of curious about it recently. I was like, oh, I haven't watched Hell Girl in a long while. And then turns out there's a fourth season. I didn't know there was a fourth season. Or I did and I forgot. I remember there's a third season, but I think by then I didn't like it because they started putting side characters. I don't like side characters too much. I don't mean like other people, but I mean like little mascot comedy reliefs. Ugh, so stupid. Like they did not have to go that route, but they did. So I'm kind of wondering like what's the fourth season about? But I didn't even finish the third season, so I don't know yet. And then another one they brought up was Vampire Princess Miu. That's my go-to. Even though it's kind of slow for some people, but um I like the arts, and the OVA release was pretty cool. I do know they have a manga, but I forgot if it's ongoing. But I only have 2 volumes, I think. I think they mentioned there's about 11. I was like, oh shoot. I'm not that good of a fan. But I do like Vampire Princess Miu. And then also Vampire Hunter D. That one was also fun, but I think when I first saw the video VHS cover, I was like, oh, because Yoshitaka Amano's art's on there. So it looked kind of interesting. Then you watch it, ooh, it don't look too good. And I think the anime and the arts, they did not translate very well. So it was kind of weird looking, for especially those not familiar with anime too much, especially firsthand. But it was pretty interesting. Just kind of weird. But I think they did a lot better with, I think, Angel Egg. That one I think was a lot more suited for Yoshitaka Amano's art. But they did do Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust. That one looked good, but for whatever reason, I wasn't able to finish it. But I know the art's really good. The art and animation's freaking awesome. But I was able to finish the first one. I guess nostalgia purposes. So anyway, I need to shut up soon. Okay, so I got most of it. It's kind of ugly, but that's what I'm going for. All right, what time is it now? Okay. Let me see. Skin. Where are you? Oh, here. Let me do skin, then I'll stop. I swear. I was debating whether or not I should add nose, and since Little Twin Stars don't have nose, I decided to either not put a nose or put the nose holes for the skull. I might do that, but I've yet to decide. I can try, and if it looks ugly, I can just paint over it. There's always that option. Of course, I'll add gray later, but right now I just want to see how this goes. Ugh, this is creepy. I had this friend whose mom was a big doll collector, and when we went to her house, and then there's this corner full of dolls, like those baby girl dolls, and in different various sizes. And she had really big dolls, like as tall as us. Like we were in high school or seniors in high school, and the dolls were like as tall as us. Some of us. It was like, whoa, what the heck? It was really scary, and they all stare at you. I was like, ugh. I think that was why I didn't really get into dolls because they were kind of creepy, and not the good kind, like the kind that they keep staring at you while you go through life. I guess it was kind of, ugh. But yeah, I wasn't that big on dolls, like American Girl dolls. I heard about that growing up, and then I was like, none of them look like me, so I didn't really care about it because yeah, I didn't see any Filipino American dolls. I was like, okay, so I got nothing, so I didn't really care for it. And then Barbie dolls, well, they gave it to me as a default, like, oh, you're a girl, you like dolls, have at it. I was like, oh, okay, I guess. I wasn't like the super hardcore. Oh, I hate Barbies, and I'd rip out their heads and throw it on a pike and chase dogs with it. No, no, I wasn't like that. I just didn't. I just humored the doll and then just left it. That's about it. It was not that big of a deal. I just didn't play it as much. Oh, there was this one time one of my Barbie dolls that I got. My oldest brother took it and he used, I think, a kind of clay. I'm not sure what kind of clay it was. It's either the eraser clay or just some kind of modeling clay of some kind. It was gray. I remember it being gray. And then he had the clothes removed of the Barbie and then he molded the clay onto the Barbie to make her look fat. Either fat or pregnant, one of those two, because I remember her having a very big belly. And then he showed it at me and I started screaming. But later on, he just kept throwing it at me, and I just kept laughing and screaming because I didn't know whether to laugh or be horrified. So I think I did a combination of both. So that's how I was in. But I think looking back, I'd rather have that weird fat Barbie over whatever Barbie it originally was. It was really weird, but also really funny because my brother messed around with it. In terms of putting clay on it, I mean, okay, nothing any further. But yeah, it was kind of weird. That was the Barbie I grew up with. Okay, so almost done. Then I'll get out of your guys' hair. Yeah, they still look healthy, but I'll make them look not so healthy later. Wait, do they have 4 fingers or 5 fingers? I forgot. Because little twin stars have weird toes. They only have one big toe. Did you know that? One big toe. And then, like, I forgot if they have 4 or 5 fingers. I was like, I hope there's socks. Like they're wearing sheer socks and there's toes underneath that sheer sock. But how they're designed, they have just one big toe on each foot. I found that so odd. I think that was what was kind of off putting to me as a kid that I noticed about little twin stars. They only have one big toe on each foot. I mean, go look. That's what they had. Or my eyes are bad and I'm remembering wrong. But I specifically remember them having one big toe on each foot, and I just thought that was so weird. Like, why do they do that? I guess they didn't want to draw toes, so I get it because I can't draw toes to save my life. But it was just still kind of weird. Like they could have given them socks or socks. Okay. Let me make it a little pale for the sake of it looking sickly later. For the idea. I look into that whole thing about like abandoned toys images, because those were kind of creepy, but I was kind of remembering that when I did this, I was like, oh, maybe I should do a painting like that. That'd be kind of cool. I can't do that with my stuff because that's kind of but other people's stuff is fine. But mine, I'm like, oh, I don't know if I'll feel bad if I do it. And I do have some old stuff, but they're kind of just like in boxes, so it's not that authentic. Like the ones that I saw, like they're on shelves, and there's cobwebs and yucks and dirt and mice poop, things like that. So I was like, oh, okay, I don't mind doing a painting from a complete stranger's abandoned wares versus my stuff. That'd be like, oh man, you live like that. Let's not get that conversation on there. Uh, okay. I think I need to stop soon. It's already lunch. Okay, so sorry. So right now, that's what I have. I think her hair is supposed to be shorter, but screw it. And then for the like, I like to show the compare and contrast. Other side. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, totally different. Total opposite of what I have going on, which I think is kind of funny. I'm pretty sure not a lot of people will like that idea, but I like it, and that's all that matters. So yeah, I'm gonna have a hell of a day trying to figure out how to paint this. I kind of have an idea, but I'm gonna take my sweet time because this ain't cute. I was supposed to do some kind of lace, and this was ugly, but I'll figure something out. So, all right, that'll be it for now. This is Delion signing out. Thank you for watching. Thank you for even leaving comments. Even if I was being a bit snarky, I apologize, but I'll take your idea into consideration in the near future or next year future. Either or is fine. So, yeah, take care. Have a great one and the rest of your Wednesday or week. Okay, bye-bye.